Hello and welcome back to Roll For It, where we're playing some role play, where we're doing some Shadowrun in the lovely fantasy corporate dystopia, which is Shadowrun in 2070s. So far, the group have managed to get themselves mugged while doing a drop-off, lost $2,000, hit up some old acquaintances, agreed to pay a mob boss $4,000 in 2 weeks, which I will have to note on my whiteboard of all your expenses, and done some research on their current mission. Their current mission is to dope a fighter, get them expelled from the competition, maybe debatably replace them and then win the fight and bet on themselves as the underdog, possibly, depending on whether they feel comfortable doing that, and even possibly maybe more long-term-ish than agreeing or not agreeing with the manager of the other fighter to then lose a subsequent doping test and allow them to win. But they are a little bit wary about doing that because there is a test involved. So, we get back, everybody is chatting about tactics and strategy, and Kaber is not on the comm and is ignoring everyone for the day. Having been beaten up with a baseball bat yesterday, but still getting a good night's sleep, so he's probably still in bed in his pajamas.
Is his pajama a pajama suit? Please
It's got
let it
little
be a
elves
pajama
all over
He has
it.
to sleep like that to make sure that it doesn't crease.
White
He uses a
pajama
lot of
suit.
starch. It's uncomfortable, but you gotta do what you
And
gotta
see,
do.
he sleeps standing up. He's a conehead.
Wow, that went from being kind of cool and legend, Gary, to yeah, he's just a freak with a point.
Did you ever see the thing in Kenny versus Spenny where they had the contest to see who could stay awake the longest? I imagine
Oh,
he sleeps like Kenny built a cocoon that hangs from the wall so that he could like just hang in it while not sleeping, so that he could break the rules.
It's all Kenny ever does, is break them rules.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're all there. You guys see me as a sort of holographic projection in your arrow. Pug doesn't unless he's got his goggles on.
Yeah, I'm just walking to I'm walking to Raj's place.
Okay. You get there. Blowback's already there. The van is already painted pink. There is a RFID tag with a message left for you, which says, "Why is there a hole in my floor?" You remember that last week you got jumped by a dwarf wielding an assault cannon, and basically a 1-foot crater was put in the floor of the garage.
Yeah, but doesn't Raj have the CCTV footage of that? The doors busting open and this big old shot going?
He can't see what goes on in the van, so he just sees like an explosion happen effectively as the assault cannon gets fired. But yeah, feel free to chant tactics.
All right, guys. I'm noticing that we're not quite simpatico here the last day or two. You gotta, if you guys want to get the big paydays, we gotta be like an oiled machine here. And right now, the oil ain't so fresh. So we're down $2,000 here. I went to bed. How did the talk go with I don't know, Michael or Mickey or Jackie or whatever the hell his name is? Did it go well?
I don't think we got his name. He's just some punk mob boss.
All right. So what's going on with him?
He wants double the money now, but he's given us until after the fight. So if we're planning on making big, we can definitely afford it. But we got to do the fight.
Why does he
Yeah.
want double the money?
Because we didn't pay him today. Or yesterday.
Why didn't we pay him?
We didn't pay him because Mr. Face McElface over there decided to run his mouth and be a jackass, and he got himself knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, and then Mr. Idiot Troll just said, "Yeah, sure, take the money." Pug, yeah, he may have run his mouth, and he got into a fight that he couldn't handle. But you're a fucking giant. What the dreck, dude? You were literally stood there and you said, "Yeah, go and take it." You may as well have bent over and let him take you up the ass.
They'd have to get a stool though. He was a dwarf. Need a little help.
This needs to stop, Pug. I know you don't like the guy. Half the time I don't like the guy, but that was a lot of money for you to just piss away on a joke.
That's nothing.
Well, I'm glad
Are you gonna
think
pay it?
money bags because it's a lot to me.
So let's just focus. Let's not get tied up in the who's, what's, where's, why's. Let's just say that from now on, let's have each other's backs. Yeah? I mean, we're all trying to hustle and do our jobs here.
You can knock him out if you want to after the run is done. But before the run is done, before we get our payday, just protect him. That's one of the things you're really good at.
So he's allowed to run his mouth at 4 gangers and get them to attack him on purpose, and I'm supposed to defend him when he does that. That's what you're telling me. That's bullshit.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. You're not his nanny. But you didn't need to just let him take the money.
We'll deal with the face next, but we gotta have
You need to have a
togetherness
word with
here.
him as well.
Togetherness. Because right now
Seriously,
I feel
Pug.
like 4 fragmented guys all doing like their own thing, and then we clean up the details and the messes later.
Mostly messes because of that. But you're right. You're not his nanny, and it's not your job to make sure that he doesn't do stupid shit. That was all on him. But you just let them take the money. You did nothing to stop it. Blowback was almost there. Wear your goggles a little bit more, you'll see that sort of stuff. Okay? We need to keep in touch with each other. But,
So the money
fair
aside-
enough. Yeah.
This job. Now that we've hit that.
Well, I've got a bit of info on this guy, Tiny. It looks like he's a runner. That was
Really?
something I wasn't expecting. I'm a little bit concerned about that, actually.
That raises concerns for me as well.
It's one thing just messing with just some random nobody's life, but to be honest, I don't even like doing that most of the time. But a runner, I mean, professional courtesy, guys.
Yeah.
He's well known as well. And seriously, from the stuff that I've been watching, I wouldn't want to be on his bad side. I don't even think Pug could take being on his bad side.
This
At
needs
that
to be
point,
super clean.
I start bringing up in their arrows. Oh well, Pug won't hear. He'll just hear the video playing, but the Blowback will actually see the video of the thundering haymaker from lots of different angles.
All right, so Suit Up
All
sends
the
up
same
like this
thing.
really good Thundering Haymaker pick where you see this fist come round, massive big troll hits this other troll in the jaw. The troll's jaw just sort of moves to the side as you see the flesh sort of deform in slow motion. Head twist. And one of the tooth of the troll just pops out and comes flying towards the camera, at which point the camera just cuts to black. And it goes, Thundering Haymaker, Tiny, MMCA.
So you're
I-
saying you don't want to drug this guy anymore?
No, I'm saying we need to have a proper risk assessment. In the same way
think
you
if
don't
this-
cross a mob boss, you might not want to cross this guy, or at least I certainly don't want to be the one caught crossing him. Either way,
Let's
this
not
is just what I found.
Even on that end, Pug, we're Shadowrunners. He's Shadowrunner. In general, it's bad for business for us to fuck over people that are in the same business as we are.
I mean, I've
So
got
if we're gonna
friends
do
in
this,
the community. I don't
yeah.
want to
And you
get a
don't wanna-
reputation for this kind of shit.
In general, runners look out for runners. And fucking this guy over, we got to do it on the real quiet so that it never falls back on us if we're going to do it. So everything has to go off without a hitch.
What if we bring him in on it?
I don't know, man. I mean, he's pretty well known. He's like a public hero around where he lives.
Does he seem like the kind of guy that would go in on it? I don't know, Suda. You're the one that's digging.
If he's a runner, he'll love money.
Can I give me a second, guys? I'll have a quick look through the data I've got. Can I quickly have a look? Is there anything that might imply that he has done that sort of stuff, like, you know, that he's been implicated in any sort of less than legal activities? No criminal records, but especially, can I roll on my shadow rumors and that sort of stuff as well?
Yeah, sure, you can roll a Shadow Rumors check.
Awesome. I like using my skills. Right. 10 dice. Not a very good roll.
You've heard the name Tiny in some places. More than that, you can't really put a finger on it.
Okay.
People generally talk about him not in the same context as they would talk about other runners who really do get their hands dirty. But other than that, you can't really say. It's just the context you're going off. So it might not be that, but...
They don't talk about him in the context that they talk about guys like us.
Yes.
Pretty
Grimy and greasy.
And by the way, those of
we
you
could.
who watched the Trid shows last night, etc., you'll have seen talk from Lone Star on the local news, talking about how, you know, a couple of their cops were ruthlessly attacked, and, you know, one was brutally executed in West London. It looks like maybe someone had been tortured, etc., blah, 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 blah. And the corollary of their entire show went on to discuss that... yeah, we're going to be making some changes to our policing requirements in London. You see, we came into London with the thought that we could take down the opposition, these criminals, we could put them in the ground, and then we could deal with them that way. But it appears that they are more tenacious and dug in than we first expected, and we're going to be making some changes to our policing requirements and updating the training of some of our employees so that no longer can the criminals get away with what we were expecting so far. And we will make sure to deal heavily with anyone involved, especially in the commission of a felony against a Lone Star officer. Goes on just to break up the show.
Okay. All right. As far as bringing him in on it, it's a wild card. Could go one way, could go the other. I mean, just going off what I've got here, he's pretty respected. He owns a gym. Him losing a fight, him getting implicated with drugs, that could be bad for him in a big way. That could affect his business. That could affect his standing in his community. He's looked up to by a lot of people. It's a lot for him to give away. I mean, maybe if you could offer him a big enough payday for it. I mean, he's a runner after all, but you'd have to make it worth his while. And I don't think we've got enough New Yen to make it worth his while.
So what options are there?
Well, as Blowback
I've been
was
taking
saying,
around the garage, and if we can figure out where he lives,
I've got that
I can
info.
rig a shower head in his house to disperse. We've got the jazz that we got from the police officers during our last run. I can come up with an aerosol dispersion method that activates when the water goes through the pipe when he showers to give him low-level doses of it. 2 weeks of that, he won't feel it, but it'll definitely show up in a drug test. And all I gotta do is burgle the house and rig that shit up and get out of there. I mean, I might even be able to pose as a super if we talk to the guy that owns the building. Slip him a little Nuyen, he gives me a key, he gives me a maintenance outfit. Bam, we go in, and that's that. It's an apartment, so maintenance guys can come in with 24 hours notice.
That sounds like a great plan.
Yeah, I think so too. But it would be wise if we had a couple of others. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that sounds good, but it might not work. And if it doesn't work, we need some sort of backup plans.
I agree.
Okay, cards on the table. Anyone got any ideas?
On the machining end, that's what I got. I can only think from kind of a plumbing mechanical end. I mean, that's where my brains are at, so we're gonna need something from
how
other...
would you rig it to disperse? It wouldn't be wireless because that would show up to anyone, but it would just mechanically activate based on temperature or water flow or something.
Yep, it'd be as simple as basically I could condense down the jazz into just like a little crystal or whatever else, or just into a fluid. I soak a sponge with it, and then we put the sponge inside a little pill-shaped receptacle with some holes in it for the water to go through. I mean, he'd absorb it through the steam that's in the shower. He shouldn't feel it. Dude's a troll, so he shouldn't feel anything from
He'd be
this.
in the
He should
shower
be
anyway.
fine.
I mean, maybe if he was just drinking some whatever he drinks and suddenly feels wired, he'd be like, "Oh, what the hell?" But he's in a shower. That's going to make you feel wired anyway. That's the whole point of having a shower instead of a bath. But what if he's got a bath? Wait, can I pull up info, like based on where he lives? What kind of lifestyle would that be?
His lifestyle
infer
would actually
something.
probably be high.
I mean, it's possible he'd have a bath based on where he lives.
You are almost certain he'll probably have a bath. You also find information on the apartment block. And the apartment block also shares half of the block with a hotel. And some of the facilities are shared between the people who have effectively got long rent rooms, i.e. they constantly rent them on a long-term basis, and the people who stay in the hotel. These include a half-length Olympic swimming pool, and a sauna, and a whirlpool jacuzzi.
I mean, he might use the sauna. We could possibly do something with that.
Athletes do
Same
enjoy a
kind of
sauna.
thing. Yeah.
He's been working out. He'll be at the sauna.
But then
If
there
he
might
has
be
any
collateral.
kind of food dispensers, personal in his apartment, we could rig those. Low doses in whatever, soy calf or energy drinks, whatever he goes for. We could do the same with the gym. Because, while he's working out in the gym, he's going to get thirsty.
Well, it sounds like what we need is do a little scouting.
Yeah.
We need some
I
eyes.
think so. Any other plans, though? Because this is just 2. If we're going to
as far
this
as-
up, I think we should go all out.
We could have our face go in as somebody setting up a business prospect for him or endorsement deal. Wine him and dine him, and then just bribe a chef or something to lace the food. Not enough to where he'll feel it. Once again, he's a troll. It's almost impossible to get trolls high and drunk, and so small amounts in any sort of food that goes to the table or whatever. We just need him to fail. And then at the end of the day, if all else fails, I mean, where's the testing center at? We've got a technomancer just rig the shit out of the machine to fail. No, regardless, off his own dopamine levels, just naturally. I mean,
Possibly. Give me a second.
yeah,
Can I have Grok do a matrix search on the facilities used for testing, specifically anything to do with this actual venue and event?
Okay, sure. Quite easily, Grok can pull up a lot of the public information. It's deliberately available, so that stuff will immediately show up. You just a few seconds. I don't need to roll for that.
Yeah.
Effectively, it says that
Check down the tasks. So.
they are changing from having their system being, a sort of semi-underground, and it's implied throughout the text that drugs were effectively permissible. They were just extremely overlooked. No one really enforced a ban. But since they're transferring and trying to get syndicated effectively on many, corporate networks, they're cutting down on the drugs and basically trying to remove that entirely. They do make a big thing of the fact that it's mixed martial arts and cyber combat and adepts. So adepts are allowed. Magic isn't. Thank you. I'm not even sure what that was.
Nor am I. I'm not sure what I'm meant to say. Bless you. I'll just go with
that. Magic isn't. Adepts are. Magic isn't. And effectively, what they say is they look after this by a rigorous regime of people being tested randomly. But before an event, someone has to give 2 urine samples. They give 1 urine sample, which is immediately tested by an on-site field kit, which is a non-wireless, so as no one can hack it or mess with it. And then the second sample is then sent off for lab analysis for a more detailed scan where they can pick up lower concentrations. You have to give 2 urine samples immediately before going into an event. And that happens, effectively less than an hour before you go on stage.
Can I find any information based on the kind of levels of drug? Is it like flat out a zero tolerance policy if there is a hint of this chemical in your system? Like, even today, there's lots of things where the police are just flat out saying, because they want to prevent it rather than deal with it after it's happened. They're flat out, this stays in your system.
They won't really care about reporting to the police or anything, but they will most definitely then just ban you flat out from the event because they are trying to, as hard as they can, to try and get allies.
Is there
in the
any
corporate
information
network.
on how long these sorts of drugs might stay in the system? Like any kind of propaganda, intimidation, things like
There's a
we
lot of
have
information
now.
that say, it'll ruin your job chances for life, etc. Blah blah blah. It really does come down to the drugs. There's a lot of other forums where they're saying, "Oh, it's all intimidation, right? Yeah, it doesn't. It comes out. Water only takes like a day to go through your system, right?" And then some people are like, "Oh, but your hair, right? You can check it in your hair, and your hair lasts for whatever." So you're not really sure. You would need a medical knowledge.
I've had a look. It's unlikely that I'm going to be able to do anything with the on-site check. I mean, maybe if we speak to the right people, or I can get really close to something. But it would be practically have to hold the thing that they're using to mess with it. So that's out the window on site. Off site, they'll do a second sample. That I could mess with, but that's not going to stop him from fighting that day. How long does Jazz stay in the system for? Do you have any knowledge? I mean, I don't know where you got your medical skills from, and I probably don't want to know, but
Oh yeah, let me think about it for a little bit. And so there's the first test right there. I'll extend it out if I need to based on
Okay, no,
what
that's
Elysium
fine.
says.
You have a quick think, and Jazz is kind of designed as a short-term, not too like debilitating combat stim, and it is designed to try and clear the body soon after its usage. So your body will, metabolize it, and then quickly just chuck it out again. It will appear in your urine for about like a couple of days, maybe. But the idea is to try and get it out as quickly as possible. You're not sure exact level that you kind of would need to get measured, but you'd be certain within maybe 3 days to 5 days, they would have to be very good sensitive to be able to detect that.
Okay, so the problem we're running into with Jazz is that it clears quickly. It's designed to be a combat drug for soldiers and shit like that, and so it's supposed to go in and go out real fast. We'd have a day or two, so it would have to be right before the test if we wanted it to show up, if we wanted to risk that. Alternative options, we could go with something like Cram or Kamikaze, something a little bit more cocktailed out that's more for street use, that they don't really care if it stays in your system because it's used by junkies. But that would also increase the risk of us killing the poor bastard if we fuck it up. I mean, because Kamikaze is some pretty hardcore shit.
Yeah,
so
we should avoid that.
Definitely.
Is there anything
I'm not trying to get bodies.
That at least, at the end of the day, if he dies, they're going to look at this. If he just fails a drug test, then it's something else. But we're going to get paid if the drug is something that would buff him. If it's something that seems likely he's using to try and throw the game. If he's just...
Well, then Jazz would make sense, because if you were trying to pump yourself up without getting caught, Jazz is the safest option since it's in and out fast.
Jazz only lasts for, I think, it's D6 minutes or D6 times 10 minutes.
Oh.
It's a very short-term inhaler.
But it could still look like he's trying to buff up for it if it gets noticed before the fight.
Right before the event, yes, that would be possible.
If we're not looking at drugs, I mean, right now we're just thinking inside the box. We're just literally going for the dreck that the runners get on the streets. Nitro, for example. What about steroids?
Yeah, anything anabolic, I mean.
Literally just something that would give him an edge that his competitors might not have. Can I do a quick matrix search on the legality of various steroids and performance enhancement drugs? Thank you.
I'm immediately trying to pull up some of the PDFs in the background and trying to find some of these drugs, because I know there is a steroid one.
Okay.
I really like the sound of having Kaver sweet talk this guy and try to sell him a pitch or something.
5 successes. There are some steroids, etc., which are available legally. There are some which are performance enhancing, designed for long-term use, that do make it possible to put on muscle easier, etc. A lot of these are just restricted, but they are still banned for competitive sport because of several reasons. Firstly, mainly just tradition. A lot of sports just didn't move the times in that regard, whereas something like magical powers like adepts and cyber was such a drastic change that they did. Also, drugs are very short-term and their effects can be a bit weird, and they had to draw a line between what drugs they would allow and what drugs they didn't allow, and they just decided it would be easier just to ban the drugs outright.
Okay, so, I mean, some of this stuff we can just pick up. It's illegal. It would still not be legal in the match, and it would definitely fit what we're doing. I mean, if a guy shows up and he's got trace amounts of some steroid in his system, that makes more sense in a boxing match.
Yeah.
So let's make a hierarchy of the plans.
There are also certain types of nanites that can be used for performance-enhancing reasons.
Udo doesn't even mention this. Okay. When he sees nanites, he shuts down that line of inquiry.
Too soon.
PTSD nanite.
Oh, if only you knew.
PTND.
PTND. That's harsh. But, yeah. Okay.
Well, I like the sweet talk option, because if we just slip something into the food a day or two before, cool. If that fails, we can try to rig the sauna. We can try to rig the shower. We can try and rig, the fucking water tank at his gym, although I really don't want to go onto his stomping grounds. I'd really prefer... It sounds like he's well thought of. I mean, we could try to find somebody that's willing to sell him out inside his own organization and maybe spike it for us.
I don't.
But
think
yeah,
that's
it
gonna
sounds
happen.
like everybody loves him, and he's kind of a neighborhood hero. So I'm a fan
If
of.
we did want to bring someone in to help with this, it would have to be someone from outside. It wouldn't be someone from his turf because I don't think that's going to work.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I could look
do you
up some
guys
rivalries or something, but
do you guys want him to have an obvious concept that something went wrong and he'll have a clue what might have caused it, or do you want him to be oblivious to everything?
I think he'll be suspicious no matter what we do. But I was a fan of the shower aerosol option
yeah.
or the sauna
If
because
he's going to know he didn't dope up.
he's gonna fight it. But it doesn't matter because
Yeah.
we'll already get paid, and
Yeah.
that maybe he does clear his name. Maybe if he's a real
going
nice
to know
guy.
that something happened and it was dodgy. I don't want him to know it was us that was behind it. So
Well, yeah, of course.
I'd rather be a ghost shadow on this one.
We need to keep this tight. And he's gonna fight it. He's gonna fight it kicking and screaming if he's the dude that you've described to me. Because this is gonna destroy his whole life. This is nuclear for him. This is really, really bad.
Yeah, you know,
And-
that's why I prefer to go for some of the steroids. Because it's just one of those things. Maybe it'd be fine. Maybe it's just something in his system. Who knows? The second test. You know what? I actually prefer to go and mess that second test up in his favor. After the fact. So he's cleared straight after it. Out of the fight. For as long as we need him to be out of it. But his name is cleared later on.
That's an interesting idea. I like that.
I think that's probably good considering he's one of us too. He's a Shadowrunner.
I don't want to mess with one of us, no.
Yeah, we fuck him over briefly, but in the end, if he gets cleared, it's no damage done. It's kind of just an anxious period of his life.
Yeah.
But at least we did right by our own.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I am down with that.
I
Okay.
think it makes a lot of sense, yeah.
So
Okay.
what's our plan then? Are we going to go with the Caber option?
Well,
First,
Caber
and
isn't
then-
even here right now, and look, he might need a day, he might need two. I don't know. I think we should approach this from having all of the plans ready to move, not just if that doesn't work, then we have to scramble around like blue-ass flies trying to get Plan B or Plan C in action. I want Plan B and Plan C ready, literally already set up. If we
I mean,
have
we
to
could
push
do
a
all the
button,
plans if you really wanted to. I could rig the shower in
to
the
be
meantime
perfectly
while we're
honest,
working on.
I think that's better. I mean, it's just as long as we use really low doses of this stuff, it should stay in the system for a long time. This stuff is designed for long-term use. Or at least some of them are. I'll leave that to you. You can pick the best thing for the job, but something that isn't going to mess with him. Ideally, something that isn't going to really mess with him, like, you know, heavy addiction, but he's a troll, he'll probably come out of it. But the main thing is something that'll stay in the system for a while, so we don't have to have much. We can just have a low dose in lots of different places, you know, because lots of low doses do eventually add up to a high one.
And if he's going to the sauna every day or showering every day, that means he's getting it every single day, so we don't have to worry about it falling out of his system either.
Yeah.
I mean,
To be fair, we are gonna if we put it in the sauna, there are gonna be so many roided up, just casuals, wage slaves walking around. It's gonna be
it's
so
collateral.
funny.
That's
So
why I like the
funny.
shower better, but you did raise a good point with the bath and everything. I hadn't thought of that. You know, if he's one of those weird dudes that likes to be in man suit for 30
unless
minutes a
there's some
night.
sort of serious corporate wage slave that anyone's even going to notice the fact that they've got this in their system. It should
That's
be fine.
true. Half
We're
those
only gonna
guys
be
are on
doing it
long
for a few
haul already.
days. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm down with this. So we are going to need to... We're going to need to scope out his gym. I know you
Yep.
said you didn't want to do anything with his turf, but we should check that out as a possible vector. We're going to want the sauna at the hotel that he frequents. I mean, it'd be great if we could get Caber to just go sweet talk some of the people who work there, some of the reception staff, some of the cleaning staff. Just find out where the guy moves. He's a really well-known troll. Someone's going to know whether he visits the sauna. If he doesn't, then there's probably not much point in us, you know, messing with that. So
Yeah.
we're probably going to want Caber to do a little bit of legwork with this one. Just some pretty boy elf showing up, just chilling out, having a chat with people. It's not going to raise too many questions, especially if he poses as a fan. I mean,
Yep.
come on, the guy's going to have a lot of those.
We know Caber loves them trolls.
Yeah, it's just a shame they
I
don't have him
could-
back.
I could apply for a job at the hotel, or I mean, if we could just take it there, I could go to the guy that hires the janitorial staff, the cleanup staff, the maintenance staff,
Yeah, sure.
slip him some bills, and be like, I'm going to pay you to let me do a job that was already going to get done anyways, and I'll just
You could easily
clean up.
pose it as something like you're trying to get some sort of employment history so you could rent a place.
Yep.
He'd probably used to that. You know, it wouldn't bother him none as long as you look clean.
Yeah, it's
You
doable.
can clean up, I take it.
Yeah.
Sure.
I got
no,
an armored.
that'd be good.
I got an armored suit just like Caver's. One of the armored whatevers.
Wouldn't have picked you for the kind to wear a suit of any kind, armored or
Well,
not.
I
That's
thought we
cool.
were gonna have to look respectable at some point, but I guess we've just been murdering people so long that
You
I
might
kinda
not want to
fell
show up
into-
in a suit for a janitorial job, though. If you want to pose as someone who's on the low and needs just a foot in the door, it might actually pay to look like you're on the low.
What I really
either
want is
way.
just to get hands on keys, because if I'm a maintenance staff person there, I've got keys, and that
no,
eliminates.
that's a solid plan. We've got a week to do this.
Mhm.
If you can grease the wheels with a bit of nuyen and get in the door, get those keys, then things get easier. I mean, I don't know. To be honest, as long as you're in the building and I'm nearby, I can probably just open doors for you. But
That'd be great. Well, why don't we head over there? I mean, we got the van. It's nice and pink. We can at least get something done if Caber's not here.
yeah, you know what? This time though, you park a couple of blocks away.
Yeah.
Use those little legs. Sorry, go back.
So I need to go to a clothing store and I'm gonna buy some overalls. Guys, I just need to get some overalls and some just kind of like working class looking stuff, so I don't look like thuggish, ruggish or anything.
Sure.
Pseudo's massive Sith Lord hologram, just a piece of toast creeps up and he starts nomming on it, looking really happy.
18 Noyen, you can get some decent rugged overalls.
Okay. Done.
Bam.
Right. Any other plans that anyone wants to bring to this table?
As they go to sell it to you, they have to scan your sin.
Oh. Yeah, I got my fake one, so I don't know if I have Vlad's, or did we ever decide who had the caterpillar one and who had Vlad's?
You've got Vlad's. I've got
Okay, I got
the
Vlad's.
beautiful butterfly.
It's
One
very
hit.
fitting.
It's a rating 1 sin.
Yeah.
That flags it for further investigation. So the cashier at the checkout is like, sorry, it's asking me for some verification questions. Mr. Valentine, where do you say you're from?
I'm from West Ham, but if we can avoid this conversation, 100 new yen, and let's just not do this.
Make a negotiation roll.
I'm gonna have to default it.
You can have a +1
It is
Okay.
100 million.
and
That's good.
ignore the -1.
Oh, yeah. You got an edge to spend?
I do, but I was gonna save it for the talk because I have no skills with.
Yeah, I believe
fair
the fee for priority customer is in fact 100 Noyen. That would be perfect. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy your day.
Good man. Thank you.
Just buy some overalls.
That's fine. That's negligible money for what I've got. So if it makes it go smoother without me getting flagged on law enforcement, I'm good.
Harsh times. Harsh times. But
Yeah, it's rough out here.
Okay, so,
Now that I've got
Now
the
you've got
outfit,
all
the
of that.
jumpsuit or whatever, we're gonna
Yeah.
go to the motel, I guess, or the apartment block.
before you go out, Blowback, one other thing. Now, we can't do anything with K because he's not here yet, but doesn't mean we can't plan around him. I'm with you on him sweet talking the guy, maybe bribing someone to put something in the food or drink or whatever, and also getting all of this stuff done. But it might be possible that we could bribe whoever's doing the test.
Yeah, definitely as like a last nuclear option.
Yeah.
That's so
That would
nuclear,
be-
though.
Yeah, it would.
That's
It
the
would.
final option if we're like day
that's,
of.
That's loud and just obnoxious, but if we've got nothing else, then if we can just send whoever it is a lot of yen. Don't look at me like that, Pug. I know it's a bad option. That's why it's the last one. That simple.
Yeah, we'll leave it as last. I'm okay with leaving it as last,
Yeah.
but if we can't get the run done, that's the one we push the button on, I guess.
Yeah.
Kind of the last thermal detonators. and hope it sticks. But I doubt it'll come to that.
Well, didn't Raj say that? Didn't Raj say we still get some pay if he just can't make it to the fight at all? Like the biggest pay was if he couldn't fight and he had like some performance-enhancing drug, right?
Yeah.
Well, what can we do that would like knock him out of the fight without having to drug him in at all?
I don't know. We could perhaps start a fire at his gym. Do something that disrupt him. There's no way that we're gonna kidnap him. You probably wouldn't even be able to lift him, much less knock him out.
I don't like anything that requires us just like abducting or doing anything desperate. I want to go real quiet on this one.
Yeah. Honestly, if we can't get him to fail this, then the run's a bust. I'm just gonna put it out there. I don't want to mess with him more than we have to.
It's Raj. He's my boy. If we fuck up, he's not gonna be happy, but we go back and it's probably gonna hurt our relationship. But at the end of the day, he's not connected or anything. But we're talking about desperation right now. Let's focus on positives and let's focus on the now.
So, first call, getting Kaber to try and sweet talk the guy, get him into some fancy elf restaurant. I'm sure that Kaber knows a few. He can grease the wheels. I bet he has all kinds of contacts. Now,
I mean, the other option is if Kaber comes back, we could have him get me the job on the maintenance staff. I'm not good at talking, and I'm just going to go in there and basically lie my ass off.
Well, how about we use the day then to do a bit of legwork? Just look around. If you've got any contacts that you can get in touch with, by the way, might be an idea. Do either of you have anyone?
I've just got Raj, and he's already in on it, so...
Yeah, no, that's fine. Pug?
Well, it's a friend in the Yakuza, but that's probably not someone we want to contact right now.
Are they still your friend?
No, probably not.
Fair enough. All right,
I'm not going to contact her for a while.
Yeah, fair enough. We won't go that route. Honestly, Kaber's got a fixer who might know someone who knows someone who knows something, but again, he's off the grid for now. All right, then what I say is today we just scope the places out.
Yeah, sounds good.
Gym, we scope out his apartment. We scope out the hotel as a whole. Don't go in. Don't ask any questions. As you say,
drive around the block a couple times, basically.
Yeah, talking's not our strong point. Let's just check the place out. I'll compile all of this into just a bullet point list or something. Send it over to Kaber. We can review what we've discussed while he's been on a hiatus. And when he comes back, we can get his input.
Elysium, is this place? This is a high life area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So assuming the construction here is sanctioned by the English government, if you go to the library in Modernity, you can get the plans for like any building that has cleared that's part of like the Better Business and everything like that. You can
Didn't
get
I
the
already
blueprints
get plans for his apartment and stuff from my Matrix search?
Yeah. The apartments
so we should
there
probably...
are a couple still trying to be rented out. They tend to go pretty quick, though. And you have a floor plan that you can quite easily summarize from them. They're basically, stock, replace. The hotel itself has a floor plan available.
Okay. Well, I'll just pour over this and forward all the information on.
Okay, so let's drive around the block, around the hotel once or twice. And just do some perception checks. Just see what there is to see on the outside.
Guys, just make sure that you're alright with being in a high lifestyle area, because it's not like the rabbit warrens around the slums. People actually pay notice when dodgy sins are around.
So what you're saying is don't get out of the van.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Try to just be inconspicuous. I know you're in an armored van that's pink, so it's hard, but don't stop and talk with any strangers.
Sounds like a plan. Are you going to get in the van with us, or are you staying here?
I'm best on the Matrix. There's no point in me coming along.
Okay, done. Bug, you want to come or you just want me to go?
Also,
I'm wondering if you're saying that if there's some places for rent, maybe you're still eating your toast. I'm still wondering if there's places for rent. Maybe I could put on a nice suit and head in there and look around at some of the other rooms in there. Just be in the vicinity in case anything happens. Nothing's gonna happen to you, right?
Hey, Pug.
I can.
Can't you go places like this normally?
Yes.
You've got a legit sin. This is a good plan.
This is the only problem with it is I don't want to be thumping around this guy's door if we're
Yeah,
planning on
just don't
replacing
stump
me
around his
with
door,
him at
just
the...
walk inside, talk to some people. Like again, don't ask questions, obvious questions about this guy, but you can actually be there.
Just be a prospective apartment guy.
Blowback's a little bit more dodgy, but you walking around, well, even if
Well,
someone stops you, you're gonna be
I am
fine.
in the business for a new home. It's true.
Yeah, sorry about that, by the way.
Yeah, just go in and tell them you're looking to get an apartment and you want to see the floor plan, and then you can figure out if there's showers or anything else in there. It should be standard. Most apartments are fairly uniform. They just stamp them out as quick as possible, so even the nice ones.
Ask if there's been any renovations or anything like that, because we've got a floor plan, but things might have changed. You never know.
And then I don't even have to
good.
get it. I just drop you off.
Yeah, maybe just ask around, just sort of probe if there are any, what kind of clientele are there. Maybe pose as someone who doesn't want the riffraff around.
We'll tell you what. I'll keep the comm open and you can keep telling me what to do. How's that sound? Big thinker man.
Go. Don't rely on me. Cade is the one who knows how to talk the talk.
Should we get him a nice cab to take him over there instead of the van? I mean, we could just take me out of this equation entirely. If he's dressing up in a suit going to a high life area, they're going to expect him to show up in reasonable transport.
Yeah,
You don't like your pink van?
Well, I like the pink van, but I don't think it gives the proper high roller ambiance and decorum we're looking for.
Yeah, it's just not the same as the what do we call it?
The misery machine.
The misery machine. There we go.
Okay, well, I'm good with this plan.
Me too.
Yeah, somes good.
You might
How
want
about
to call the cab, not from the Little Raj's chop shop, though.
Yeah, I
Maybe
was
just
gonna
walk
ask if
down
Blowback could give
somewhere.
me a ride to my house.
I've got a shitty comm link if you want to use that to call one over right now. I can just give you the shitty comm
Don't
link.
call a cab to Little Raj's chop shop to pick him up. That is what I'm saying. Not don't call him from your comm link. Just don't be there.
Yeah, just make the call like Uber from a block away on a street corner. They'll pick you up.
All right, sounds good.
I'm gonna give him one of my shitty meta links, so I'm down a meta link.
Okay.
If you don't have one, do you have one?
I've got a bunch.
Oh, never mind then.
You call them up. All right, this is London Taxi Service, the fastest London taxi service there is. How can I help you, sir?
Hey, need to get picked up. Gonna go check out a place to, check out a hotel in, where is this place?
Over in West Ham.
Okay, West Ham then. Want to check out a hotel in West Ham. Can you take me there?
Yes, we can, sir. We have already traced your comm link, and we'll be sending a car to you now.
Thank you.
No memory roll for where it was?
Dude has literally got the
You were sent a
details in
GPS
front
tag.
of him
Yeah.
on a sheet.
Alright.
Okay. Couple of minutes
Dude
later.
doesn't need a good memory. He's got the internet at his he's got the Matrix version of Google, which I think is actually still Google, isn't it? It is actually Google in Shadowrun.
There is a Google in
Is it not?
Shadowrun. Yep.
Yes.
Nice.
You don't need memory when you've got Google.
All right, a black cab appears.
Sweet. Get in the cab. Nothing
Get in the
suspicious
cab.
about it?
It doesn't have a driver.
Okay, fine.
Sure. You get in the cab, and a little AR field appears in front of you, which you don't have your goggles on. In which
Nah,
case, the little
that'd be
redundant
awkward.
screen down the bottom, which is the backup, just in case someone doesn't see AR, just says in little writing down there, please state destination.
Okay, whatever the hotel name is.
Please sync credit payment source. And notice that there is a slight port in front of you for a credit stick.
Okay, put in a cred stick then. I got my my actual SIN on right now, so should be fine.
En route, please pick your ambient music for your journey.
Screaming Elves Volume 2.
Yeah, some ambient folk death metal by
No,
elves.
sir. The service in the London cabs is dire. My lord.
En route.
Okay, while all that's happening, I'm going to just compile a list of everything we've done, but highlighting the things that the things that
This
we
isn't
need
screaming
Caber's
elves.
input on, and I'm
It's
just
on
going
the
to push
B-side.
that. I'm going to push that to Caber's comlink, but it's just going to be silent. It's going to be there when he wants to.
Okay, Kevin, you get through all the information.
And while that's going on, I'm going to see if I can help Lowry with whatever she's working on with the comlinks.
Oh, here comes the wabba. I can hear it coming. The drop.
Your charge for this journey is 25 Noyen. You have reached
Okay.
your destination. Please exit the vehicle
Thanks.
to your left. Thank you for running with London Best Taxi Service.
Thanks, car.
Drives off.
Get out of the car.
Okay.
All right, so I'm at the hotel. Anything that I notice about it that looks weird? It's just a normal looking building, right?
It's a big sort of flat tower block. Yeah, pretty normal. Down the bottom, two people dressed in big, flat, double-breasted coats, greeting people as they come in and out.
Fantastic. Just head towards them.
Oh, hello, sir. How can I help you today?
Hello. Here to look for possible apartments.
I imagine this isn't your sort of area, sir.
Excuse me?
Well, normally people here have a little bit more, money.
Straight
I am in my suit.
Yeah, you're also a troll.
My goodness. These fucking racists.
Yep.
That's the troll who's racist. What?
Nobody said racism made sense.
Literally,
Wretch.
I burst out with that whilst helping Lowry with some comlink stuff, and she's like, sorry.
Pseudo, is there something wrong?
I've got very interesting friends.
So you
Very
said.
Interesting friends. Sorry.
I'm concerned for you, Pseudo.
I'm concerned for me too.
You're saying trolls aren't allowed to be in this building?
Well, no, trolls are allowed. So, I mean, I wouldn't be the one to say that trolls are not allowed in here.
Then who would be the one to say that?
Make a negotiation with +4.
What is the role for negotiation?
Should be just default charisma.
Yeah, default in your charisma.
Does he still take the -1? So is it like a 4 or is it a 3?
Yeah, it's default, so it'll be -1.
-1 +4, so. No one, sir. Very well. Would Sir care to look at a room?
Yes. What do you have available?
I will call up to human met human relations and send someone down who can show you the floor. If you would kindly just wait just
I
inside
gets a
the lobby.
little message on his comlink. It's sub-vocal, so it'll peel through. Larry's probably going to look at Pseudo kind of odd, but I say, ask for his name, ask for his number. Deem offended.
I'm just gonna look this guy up and down as I walk past him through the door. Your name, sir?
He seems a bit flustered, and I'm covering while I pull out my random name generator.
He seems a bit flustered. So does the
My name
GM.
is Random Johnson.
Yeah. My name is Johnson.
My name is Charlie,
Rod
sir.
Johnson.
Sorry?
Charlie, sir, and I'm happy to help you.
All right, Charlie. But it's good to meet you. Thanks for letting me in. You have a good one.
Okay.
All right, so what's inside this building? What do we see at the entrance?
So you get in and you notice that there's some like benches over to the side. There's a few armchairs scattered around certain tables. Big open plan hall. Off to one side, there's a big, long sort of mahogany and oak desk, which there's a lot of people standing behind, presumably sort of where you check in or whatever. You can see that there's a few doors off the side, one of which says security, a couple of toilets.
Sounds nice. Where's this person I'm meeting?
About 30 seconds later, quite promptly, a smart-looking blonde elf woman runs down and says, "Oh, I'm dreadfully sorry. Sorry, I wasn't aware you were here. How can I help you? You were looking for a room, are you?"
Now Pug's flustered. My goodness. Oh, it had to be an elf. Yeah, I'm looking for a new place. I happened to lose a house recently, and I'm looking for a nice apartment over here. What have you got available today?
Oh, well, if you would like to have a look around the rooms, we have 2 rooms available right now. One of them is, in fact, a troll-sized room, and the other one of which, I'm afraid, is a dwarf room. Maybe not quite your flavor. Would you like to look at the troll room?
Certainly.
At the note that Pug is getting flustered, and definitely when he mentioned losing a house, Suda's going to push a message to his comlink and set it to just broadcast text to speech into his earbud, just saying, A, don't mention that you've lost a house. They don't need to know that. Don't tell them anything they don't need to know. B, she's there to serve you. You have every right to be there. Just remember, walk tall, head high. She is below you. Don't get flustered.
She's the help.
She's an elf. Of course she's below me.
Say that out loud.
No.
Good.
Just thinking out
Make a
loud.
racism check.
Make a judge intentions. So that'll be intuition plus charisma, please, Pug.
My previous house was destroyed in a gunfight with Lone Star. I would like your high-end apartment, please. My name is Jeff.
And a glitch.
Okay.
This gonna get good.
Okay,
was
you're
a
not sure.
critical.
She looks like she's hiding something, but you think it might be that she's really racist against trolls and doesn't like you. You're not sure, though.
Feelings mutual, honey. It's fine.
Yeah.
Lobak just gets a message. It's just on his AR, just saying, I really wish we were able to send Kiva to this. Oh my god.
Anyway, so if we could head up to the room. She beckons you towards a lift.
Pug's gonna take a moment to loosen his collar and then straighten up his tie. And then he's gonna follow her in the lift.
She motions you to go in first.
Pug goes in. She not gonna come?
I'm afraid I can't really fit in there with you, sir, at the same time. I'll have to take the next one up.
She just called you fat. This bitch.
Elves, man.
Fine. Elevator go.
Okay, door slide closed. And you go down a level. It opens at basement 1. And there are standing 3 security guards in
Oh
long,
my
black,
goodness.
double-breasted coats with something held by their sides. Excuse me, sir. If you wouldn't mind waiting here. We're waiting for Minutemen security to appear. I'm afraid you have failed a random SIN verification check.
Really? Failed to check. My goodness.
Were you running a real SIN?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that we talked about that before we sent him over. He's gonna be running his real high rating, high life one.
Okay.
Yeah, but we don't know what's going on with that. Only Pug
Yeah,
might
I
know.
have no idea.
Write it out, buddy. It'll turn out okay. The man can't hold you down.
Oh, he's
Ain't
gonna
nobody
try.
hold me down.
He's gonna try.
Can't steal my pride.
Blowback gets a message. This is not what I was expecting. You know anything about his sin? I mean, all I know is that he had a sin, that he was some sort of high flyer. I don't know, some.
I made the same assumption. I have no idea what they're pulling right now, man. We're just got to watch and wait. I feel kind of helpless, though.
Do we need to wait? Is it? There's probably nothing we can do.
Is there anything you can do in the Matrix?
I'm way too far away to mess with any of their gear. I'm hours away. I may as well throw pebbles at the moon for as much use as it would do.
Okay. I mean, it's Minutemen, so fuck them.
I was actually wanting to send Pseudo a quick message and just let him know that if there's anything pressing, just to let me know. But other than like a major incident, like I'm not on call for today.
Yeah.
Pug, so that house you had previously, which sim was that linked to?
That was under Michael Tchaikovsky's sin, which I have deleted.
Okay. See, wait a minute. Don't know anything? Wait, two?
Just staring at these three guys. Are they humans?
Yeah.
No, they're tiny.
Classy people don't let shit like this get them
Pug
down
gets-
because they have money and they can fix
Pug
it.
gets another message, again, text to speech, just saying, act like you've got a right to be there. Act
Hang tight.
offended that they would imply that your sin is not genuine, but do not try to start anything.
Okay, so on the 3rd minute, as Pseudo sends that, a car pulls in. It's in the black and orange, yellow livery of Minutemen Security, and 2 officers get out. One of which seems to be a bit junior to the other one. A dwarf and a human. The human walks over to you. Sort of steely blue eyes.
Oh,
Obviously some
thank
signs
goodness
of-
the cops are here. Can you help fix this? One of these ladies in here is racist against trolls. Can you believe that in this day and age?
Make an etiquette check.
Oh, God.
I'll give you +3 because you are used to having racism directed at you, and you are the right lifestyle.
What is the roll?
So charisma +2.
Blowback gets a message saying, you know, I actually think Pug may actually be better than our face. That was good.
I'm gonna edge that.
Okay, reroll the 4.
Well, he did grow up rich, so, I mean, he knows how to be here.
Okay, 2 hits. And a glitch. Well, I'm dreadfully sorry, sir. I think we will have to have a word with them about that. But however, and then he sort of looks down to his side, and you can vaguely hear talking in his earpiece. We've got breaking in entry in progress. Okay, we're gonna have to move. Right. Don't do it again. And they turn and get back in their car and just take off.
Racism.
Don't do it again.
The only way they could
And
make it worse is
security
put
look at
boy
you
on
and
the
go,
end.
Well, I'm dreadfully sorry to keep you waiting, sir. You were going to look at an apartment?
Like it just didn't happen. That's rich people all over.
Yeah, I'd like to look at an apartment, but when we're done, I would like to press charges against Elfie McElfface up there, because she's racist as hell.
I'm dreadfully sorry about this, sir. Can we perhaps tempt you to some complimentary beverages at the bar?
It'd be a good start.
Enjoy this complimentary money.
Yes, complimentary money.
We will
Make
give
a
you an urchin
negotiation
boy
roll,
to
Pug.
put your feet on.
Make a negotiation roll.
What roll?
Make it charisma +1. I'll give you basically a +2 on it. So charisma +1, because so far you've been doing very well.
I love the fact that he was racist about the person that he was calling racist, though. That was
Yeah.
amazing. That was a good roll, actually. Oh.
Not close.
Yes, we'll definitely have a tab for you waiting at the bar. I'm dreadfully sorry for the inconvenience, sir.
Hey, it's not your fault, man. Can I get someone else to show me one of the rooms instead of?
And as you
instead
say
of
that,
her?
the doors close. Lift goes up. Keeps going up. Keeps going up. Stops. The doors open. And there, greeting you, is a human. A fairly robustly built human who has sort of kind of prominent bulges around their jaw. I'm sorry. So, what did you say your name was? What is the name on your sin?
Eric
Last name?
Davenport.
I'm sorry, Mr. Davenport. Yes, I'm dreadfully sorry for that. And he hands you a glass of champagne.
Blowback gets a message. Just in
Rosé.
Eric Davenport. Pug's name is Eric Davenport.
Oh, it gets better.
Davenportington
Davenport?
Shiresworthy.
We're always happy to entertain employees or sons of employees at Ares. If you look around, you will see that this is a quite spacious hallway. Quite worthy in the Ares macro technology, I believe. And if we go inside and he unlocks one of the rooms with effectively a wave of his hand, you notice that he's got something embedded in the back of his wrist.
When I hear the
Goes
Ares
inside.
thing, I go, "What?" on pseudos com AR in cabs.
I'm gonna go for a matrix search on Davenport working for Ares Technology.
Oh, okay. Sure. Go
Do they
for
like
it.
own it?
It'll take you an hour to get the full information back, but yes.
His uncle's a dragon. He's like, "Fuck."
He's a dragon.
As you can see, we have the troll-sized room. We can change certain of the fixtures for the larger metahuman variety. So, although some of these, such as the shower head, and he shows you into the bathroom, you notice that there is a sort of a big square sort of jacuzzi-type tub there with a shower head over it. These can be changed for a metahuman-sized shower for trolls or the larger meta variants. And he also shows you around the living room. Effectively, this place is really plush carpet, really thick, white plush carpet. Your shoes sink into it. Yes, well, I'm sure that having such an illustrious corporation, having a member staying here would be a great boon to both of ourselves. If you check through here, you'll notice, and he shows you through some artwork on the walls. You notice that a lot of the decor has quickly been changed. A lot of the AR like paintings and posters and so forth have been changed to either Ares logos or images from Ares or promotional images from Ares sort of history. There is in fact a quite famous one of some Firewatch troops putting down some bug spirits, which is one of the ones from the Chicago Containment Zone liberation. And you go through, you sort of recognize this and nod along, and he shows you the layout. It's like, oh, and we have the master bedroom. You notice that we can have either a 4-poster mahogany bed, or you may have just a plain king-size bed. Up to you. This will of course be specially reinforced for troll physiology.
Blowback gets a message saying, "How the other side lives."
There's fresh flowers there.
Oh, this place is nice.
Yes. Thank you very much, sir. Right, but that is it. Anything else you wanted to see? Do you want to see the facilities? We have a sauna. We have a shower. Sorry, a jacuzzi.
Immediately gets a
pool.
message through saying, "Yes, you want to see all the facilities." Also, how much?
Sure. Well, first, could you tell me what is the price of this?
Oh, I'm sure something in the pocket of such an illustrious employee of Ares. I'm sure money wouldn't be of no issue to you, is it, sir?
Guffaw.
Just laugh and giggle and kind of juggle the champagne a bit. All right, sure. Let's.
Swish it in your mouth.
Again, Lowry looks at us like, "I'm sorry."
By all means, I would love to see the sauna. What other facilities do you have?
We have a small on-site gym, and we also have a small tennis court, a few other things, including, a running track. And it goes through a list of things. The notable ones are that it has a half-size Olympic swimming pool, along with sauna, and it has an on-site gym.
Sounds good. Let's see them.
And he takes you down, and you get down to the swimming pool, and you notice there is a very large shaping swimming pool. It is a troll of titanic proportions, who you vaguely recognize from the images that Suda already sent you as being tiny. And he's
I'm gonna
doing
say
a few lengths.
let's skip the gym. Can we see the sauna? Let's skip the swimming pool. Can we see the sauna?
Yes, quite, sir. And he shows you over to, on the far side, is this wood-built building inside the main room, which contains the swimming pool. He opens the door, and instantly, this sort of waft of steam, hot air hits you and rolls over to you, making you feel quite refreshed, almost. You look inside, and you see there are several seats on which people can sit. There's a pile of hot coals over which water is being poured.
He gets a message just asking him from myself, pay attention to how the water is being delivered to the coals, have a look around, any light fittings, any ventilation. There's probably not ventilation, but any kind of system that we could use.
So you can see the water is being delivered by effectively like a little statuette of a trout, which squirts water from its mouth, which lands on the coals. Then it looks like that people can effectively ask for water to be delivered by some sort of wireless signal. Presumably they have enough marks given to them as either people staying there or people who have properties there that they can effectively just request water, and it splashes on and heats up on the coals.
I hope you got all that, Pseudo.
Yep. No, Sudo's recording all of this.
Oh, that makes it so much easier. All right, we're gonna look around the room, just make sure we look at every corner of it, because Trollboy has no idea what Pseudo's looking for.
Fair enough. Thank you very much. Very thorough. Now you get a message saying, check out the showers. Specifically, any showers that would be used after a swim.
Sure. Does the swimming area have a shower instead of a sauna?
Yes, it does. So it has a block of showers over there, in which people can use going to and from the changing rooms.
Can we take a look?
Sir wants to look in the showers.
I'd like to see if it's going to be okay
yeah,
for my size.
That's literally the message, and then ... Never mind, you've got this.
I can assure you that there are a few showers available for metahuman sizes. Follow me, and then he takes you off, and he shows you one of the shower stalls, which is designed for troll physiology. You notice that there are two.
Is there anything distinctive about the faucet arrangement, or is it the same as normal shower?
It's pretty much the same as a normal shower, yeah. There is a little adjustable knob for scents.
Gets another message. Ask about janitorial staff. Pose the question as though you're simply inquiring as to how well maintained and well cared for the facilities are.
Okay, I'm going to poke at one of the scent knobs then and just say, it's not turning quite as easily as I would expect. How often are these maintained?
We have them maintained. I'm sure it. And he goes over and touches it, and instantly you get sprayed and smell of vanilla.
Lovely.
Lovely, yeah.
I'm sorry about that, sir. I hope that is perfectly to your satisfaction.
I'm perfectly fine with vanilla. You said you had a gym?
Yes, he shows you over to the gym. The gym has a number of different machines of all different kind of sorts and sizes. However, he walks you past all of them over to some of the ones that look like they are made out of bits that you normally expect to go into the building of ships, like ocean-going ships. These things are made of big, solid chunks of metal, and they are marked as heavyweight troll-friendly.
Oh, wow, you got the good stuff.
I notice that the weights go up to half a ton. Yeah, there's a number of different ones. Mostly there is one bench for doing, bench press. There's another for squats. And there's two other machines that allow you to do a number of different cable type things. The cables on them, though, are like proper, 3/4 inch thick to be able to take the weight.
Oh, it looks like you got this all set up. This is actually quite nice. I'm impressed.
Yes. Is there anything else Sir would like to see, or do you want to discuss when you can move in?
You get a message. ask to see the catering facilities, the restaurant, bar, possibly query what kind of clientele the hotel serves. Pose it as though you are concerned to be rubbing shoulders with
sir?
the less valuable members of society.
I was told I had an open tab at the bar, and I'm wondering if we could head over there and take a look around at what facilities you have for
yes,
consumption, restaurants,
Very well, sir.
entertainment.
And he heads over and he shows you effectively this bar with an open plan going to a restaurant as well. There's a couple of little trees that's of indoor grown between the bar and the restaurant to make sure there's a little bit of privacy. Certain parts of the restaurant have fence of the screens being able to be put up, and he discusses at length how, you know, your table can be tailored to make sure that you have privacy, etc. They can arrange for screens, they can arrange for acoustic dampening around you, or they can, you know, even for an extra fee, they can allow you to, you know, eat in some of the special booths off to the side, which are VIP booths, and thus they've got shielding and so on around them. If so would like to see anything more.
No, I think that's great. Can we get another drink?
Yes, sir. If you want to head over to the bar, the barman has a tab set up to you, up to the value of 250 Noyen.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for the show.
Excellent. And if you would like to discuss renting out that room, here is my comm code, and you get the comm code over.
Cool. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay. He heads off.
All right, Pug's fine with heading to the bar for a few drinks before he calls for the
He gets a
return
message.
cab.
Finish a drink. You've earned it, but don't stay too long. Otherwise, they might come back around and start pestering you about committing to renting the place.
Yeah,
Pug's
I forward a
actually
message.
thinking about
Nice
renting
job,
a
buddy.
place.
Clean. He might actually rent there, so he has every right. I
It's
guess.
not a bad spot at all. For how stuck up and racist that elf was, they certainly have a lot of amenities for trolls at this place. Gonna say
You
that over.
notice that the comm code also includes a little message discussing pricing, and it does very briefly mention that the price is 84,999 per month.
Nothing. Small change to Pug.
Yeah,
Not
trust
exactly
fund.
small change.
Small change to Pug. I choose to believe.
Yeah.
84,999.
He spends
a
more
month.
than that on the elf urchin children he uses as futons. Buys them, breaks them with his giant feet. Buys more.
All right. Well, Pug's gonna get a couple shots, and then he's gonna call for a cab.
Get
to go
some
home.
drinks in.
Of course, gotta.
Okay. Yeah, you
What about Kess-
order some good drinks. Anything particular?
Sorry,
Anything particular on the order?
Pug doesn't get drunk very easily. He doesn't really care. Something that tastes
Jaeger
good.
bombs.
No Jaeger. Fuck Jaeger bombs.
McGillicuddy.
Any good whiskey would be nice.
Okay, you get, you know, a few glasses of whiskey, adding up to a value of 259.
Yeah, make him send over the Lagavulin.
Good
You earned
quality.
it.
Good quality.
That good shit.
Oh, there you go. Steve just got it.
That's not
Go some
259.
No.
All right, so can we call a cab?
Okay. One of the barmen says, "Oh, yes, sir, I will get you a cab. It will be outside for you in just under a minute, sir. By the time you get there, it should be ready."
Thank you, sir. Have a good one. Head outside.
You didn't tip
Make
him?
sure we give. Oh, of course we tip him. We tip him another 100 million.
You tip him 109.
Yeah.
Oh,
As we walk
baller.
outside, I want to give Charlie a nice big smile.
make an etiquette roll with the barman.
What's the roll?
Just charisma. Effectively, I'll ignore the -1 because you do have the right background for this. Thank you very much, sir. Yes. You go outside. Cabs are waiting for you already.
Fantastic. Get in the car. Make sure to give a nice nod of the head and grin to Charlie.
You look sheepish.
He should.
That's right. You're getting into
Indeed.
character now. I was like, yes, you peasant.
Retire to your hovel. Away with you.
Okay.
Oh my
Made
God.
quite
You
the
head
fool
back
of yourself
home?
today.
This cab ride will
Yep.
cost you 18 Noyen.
Okay. Oh,
little
it's
bit
cheap
quicker
on the
this
way
time.
back. Nice. Fantastic.
Blowback gets a message saying, you know, Eric actually lives the life that I expect a Kiba should have, and yet I doubt does.
I message back and it says, "Harumph I say," with a little top hat that just goes back and forth. It wiggles like a gif.
I start chuckling softly.
All right. So I'm gonna I'm assuming I'm home by now. I'm gonna get out of that suit. It's a little stuffy in that thing. Especially been sweating after being in the sauna for a little bit. Holy crap! I'm
How
gonna call
long
up
did all of that take? Roughly, EE?
Probably
An
about
hour?
2 hours, maybe.
2 hours,
Including
Can I roll-
journeys.
Can I roll 2 more rolls on the Matrix
go
Edge
for it.
and then get the result? Yeah. Okay, 7 plus 7, that's 14, and 1 more. Okay, 18.
Okay.
What do I know about the Davenports of Ares?
Okay, so the Davenports of Ares were both employed by Ares. One of them was employed in marketing, and it looks like what was your mum's name? I had this written down somewhere. Irwin.
That's fine.
Irwin Davenport was employed by Ares Arms and worked on the design of the Excalibur assault rifle shortly before being purchased or extracted or something. It's not particularly clear, to a Japanese megacorp. There, the information trail kind of ends.
Okay, and what about father?
The father worked in marketing. He worked on a couple of high-profile marketing campaigns, including some for some more of the sort of medium-level sort of pop and rock icons of the era.
Okay, what was the father's name?
The father's name was David.
David Davenport. How fantastic.
It's alliterative.
I know. I like David Davenport's name. How wonderful.
It just rolls. David Davenport
Now.
marketing.
The $1 million question, or million question. What about anything to do with their son? Anything at all?
There is some mention at some point that David did take some time off to look after their son. He got the full maximum 2 weeks paternity leave.
Okay.
And there is not much mention elsewhere.
And just disappears. No record. Oh.
He lived with them with Ares. He obviously has an Ares sin, which you have noticed. But beyond that,
there's no mention of him. Ooh, okay, so a big black hole.
it has some references to him throughout their life, just generally in terms of their employment history with Ares. Just generally, like, they had a son who lived with them at certain corporate housing. But beyond that, like, there is no other information on him.
Okay, oh, that's cool. Filthy sinner.
what you gonna do.
I don't know.
My guy grew up in Redmond, so this is all just kind of mind-blowing to him.
Pseudo doesn't pass any of that information along. He's just interested. He just looked up Eric Davenport and his parents, and now knows a little bit more about young Pug.
Yeah, you're not
And-
Pug anymore. You're Eric.
Yeah. I don't think Pseudo's brave enough to call him by his first name.
Oh,
I think
and
Pseudo chooses life.
notably, both his parents are human.
Oh, both parents are human, so he goblinized. Okay. Interesting.
Right in the middle of them
Okay.
discovering all this stuff, Pug gets home, and he just gets on his puts his goggles on, gets on his comm. He's like, you get what you want there, Pseudo? How'd that place look?
Yeah, I got some good intel on that, and I'm just gonna forward on some like stills from the video feed that Pseudo has kind of marked at points of interest, the devices, like the key locks, the fact that it was all waved ahead by a kind of subdermal thing that the guy had on his hand. The
Yeah, can
shower
we imitate
heads,
that?
maybe if you take his hand. The shower heads, the sauna devices, There wasn't much with the swimming pool because he skipped it. Wasn't too many in terms of devices in the gym, though we did have the full video of that, but Pug didn't stick around for too long. But given that Pseudo was looking for this, would he have noticed anything of interest? Like refreshment dispensers? Because ultimately, if you're working out, you're sweating, which means you need to hydrate.
Yeah, you'll notice that there were a few refreshment dispensers nearby. There were also a number of staff running around, all of whom seem to be carrying around bottled water with them.
Okay, so bottled water coming from staff, okay.
Once he's lining that up, I'm gonna slap Pug on the shoulder and go, "Good job, Your Grace. It was fantastic work." I'll call him the Earl from now on.
Bills coming along was information on the actual room, as well as a note just saying it's likely that our mark has a similar room, if not exactly the same type of room as they showed Pug, given that it doesn't look like they cater for too many trolls. They probably don't set these things up particularly bespoke. So it's like got details on the like, what was it, like the jacuzzi that he had in there? Was it a jacuzzi or like a sauna in the room?
In the room itself, it was basically a jacuzzi-sized bath.
Right, jacuzzi-sized bath. I remembered the word. And the shower above it and all of that kind of stuff. I didn't remember to ask, but again, he was recording basically the video feed. Was there any sign of like a mini bar or anything in the place? Because I
the room
imagine they
itself,
can just
they were looking at a
anything.
rented room, so it wouldn't really have a mini bar. It did in fact have a small kitchen in one corner, which did have a fridge, etc. in it. It had a soy calf dispenser, it had a soy processing unit, and it had several different flavoring systems attached, all of which could give you a different flavor for your soy. And then it actually had a load of room for fresh food.
All of these things are marked out as possible vectors for delivering the chemical whatever we decide on. There's also a note at the end of that at this point, you know, Pseudo's clipped the video kind of feed of him being a giant Sith Lord in his Sith throne, and it's now just text saying, "Did you look up any info on potential?" I've forgotten the English word for it. Sorry, this is me, not my character. The stuff that makes you stronger. Steroids. Sorry. Did you look at up anything regarding the types of steroids we could use? Blowback.
Let me do the medical check now, I guess. We'll go ahead and take a look. I guess that'll determine it.
Yeah, there are a number of different steroids you can really get hold of. I mean, the easiest ones to get hold of is some basically like topical creams you can get to reduce rashes, etc. But they don't really register in the same way on tests, and they also look a bit weird because someone won't really be using them for buffing. You can, however, probably get hold of, if you hit the right drug dealers, effectively black markety type sort of steroid concoctions. In fact, you can get hold of some awakened steroids if you've got the right contact, which are derived from certain awakened critters, which are then hunted and specially processed, which can give you a long-term buff, etc. And especially for people who are awakened, such as adepts, it is notably more potent. You could get hold of those. You would need a special contact or someone who at least had some sort of ins to the drug industry. But you could probably get hold of them.
Could I make a fixer check for a one-time thing?
Do you communicate the stuff about the various things? And
yes, I'm sorry. I communicate all that to you. That was my fault.
Okay, well, Pseudo's immediately going to reply with Bob? Question mark. Smiley face.
I just reply with absolutely not. The human time bomb.
You just get back a frown.
Hurricane Bob will not be visiting this run.
No Bob. Okay.
There will be a time and a place for Bob, but high life is not it.
Agreed. Okay, well, do you have any contacts with this sort of stuff?
I've got a pretty good. I got feelers out for fixers in the area. I think if it might get expensive, but I think if we wanted to do a one-time shot, I could reach out and see what comes down. I mean,
how much are we going to need to be able to dose all of these vectors? Because again, I think it's probably wise that we use something that isn't going to mess him up, but a small dose of it across many different vectors, so there's a good chance that something is going to hit.
That would be something we'd have to posit to the fixer, to be honest. I'm not big on the drug end. I'm machines and motorcycles and that sort of deal. So unfortunately, aside from what I know about medical stuff, we'd have to bring in somebody from the outside who knows more.
Okay, well, what time of day is it now?
Probably towards 1.
Okay. Well, Cape is out of the question for the rest of the day, but we're probably going to hear from him tomorrow. Guy just needs a bit of downtime. I mean, hell, he only just hasn't slept in days because like Pseudo wouldn't know that he managed to sleep yet. So you just blow smoke in my face. You swine.
Accident. I didn't mean to. I'm bad at aiming.
But yeah, maybe we should get in touch with him because he does have a fixer who has done us well in the past. He might be able to hook us up with someone, or might know someone. I don't know. But
He is hooked up in the party scene, so
yeah. I mean that guy who runs the club. You never know. I mean, it's unlikely he's gonna have access to someone to specific performance-enhancing drugs himself, but he might know someone who does. Or even if he doesn't use them, he might know who to watch out for if he's having to deal with druggies hitting up causing the ruckus in the club.
So we wait for Caber then to come back. I mean, I guess he's taking his time right now. Is there anything else we could do? I mean, we've got half a day left. How about check out the gym? Yeah, we can go by. I'm sinless at the moment though, and I think my other one's got caterpillar blood or some shit in it. Because apparently I'm a beautiful butterfly. So I'm kind of terrified about traveling anywhere right now.
The gym in the the boxing gym.
They're his gym.
Yeah, that's just 2 blocks away from the hotel.
From the hotel, damn it. So
My character's thuggish. It wouldn't be. If I could go in and act like I wanted to buy a membership and start training, my guy has fighting skill and could kind of like, he'd be in his element. This is what he'd been fighting his whole life. So
yeah,
I'd rather not have Pug show up.
West Ham is a weirdly gentrified area in that some areas are really highly gentrified, and then quite nearby there can be quite places of sort of
There's a big disparity.
Yeah, especially places near the river tend to be higher quality, whereas places a little bit away from the river haven't gentrified as much because the land value hasn't really gone up. So his boxing club is set just beyond the edge of where you get that slope, so it is more into the deprived area.
Okay.
So the overalls will be fine.
So yeah, Blowback definitely gets the well. He's talking with both Pug and Blowback through their comments, but yeah. I think you should be the one to do this, Blowback. You honestly seem the sort. It's not that Pug doesn't. It's that I don't want Pug's face showing up too much. He was just at this place, and that guy might have seen him.
Yeah.
It would seem like too much of a coincidence for him to then show up at the guy's gym.
Pug's role is done until the fight. Yeah, let's keep him out of it.
Seriously, though, Pug, that was amazing work, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad someone can talk.
Oh, you gotta make it. I'm gonna walk over to the gym, I guess, and I'm just gonna kind of dress normal.
Okay, so you head over to the gym.
But you bought those overalls.
Good job. Yeah. So by the time we get there, it's a little bit later. You're not heading via the van, are you?
No, I'm just walking.
Okay, so it'll take you quite a while. You're walking basically across London. So
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I mean, you're in the east of London. This is in the west.
Okay.
Don't worry, London's tiny. You can walk it in a few hours.
Pretty much.
Maybe a couple more hours for you because short.
Yeah.
I've got middle lifestyle. Just assume that I ride the subway. Then we'll do the tube.
Yeah, you've got the tube, so you use your Oyster card and whoop, you're across. But it does take you still a few hours of walking. You get there probably about 3:30. And as you walk in, you notice there is, people hanging around outside. They don't seem like they're criminals, so they're just like people who nothing really better to do, and this is effectively their social club around here. There's sounds of people training inside, and sounds of people shouting, but in a motivational sense as opposed to they're gonna bottle you sense. You walk in, you notice a number of people training around, a number of all different metatypes and hues. This place is one of those cultural melting pots that you get in London. Not many elves. There's 2 elves in the entire joint. There are, however, 5 trolls, about 7 orcs, half a dozen humans, and 3 or 4 dwarves as well. So pretty heavy on the orc control front.
Do they have an information desk or anything like that? Or somebody at the front? Like, sometimes gyms just have a guy that hangs out at the front and directs people around.
They don't need to. As soon as you walk in, something appears in your AR and it says, you know, welcome to Large and Tiny's boxing club. Feel free to look around. If you need any help, please click for further info. And it just then it sort of has more info that you can click through page by page that explains the services that they offer, the memberships, etc.
Okay. I'm going to start
Well,
walking around, I guess. And
as you're walking around, make a point of going through that info, even if you don't care.
yeah.
People will notice you doing it. It adds a lot of validity to you being in the gym if you're actually looking through the brochure or whatever.
Okay, so I pick up one of the, I guess I got an AR brochure more than likely.
Yeah.
And so I'll put that up and on, and I'll kind of scan through that. I'm going to walk around, I'm going to take a look at some of the training equipment, like the heavy bags, the speed bags, the stuff that they have available.
Yep. So yeah, they've got a number of different heavy bags and speed bags. In fact, you notice that some of them are lighter, lower down to the ground. Some of them are heavier. Some of them are attached to the ceiling with chains, which you would normally expect to be holding anchors. Maybe small anchors, but those are the troll and orc variant ones.
Hudo has seen some real bad shit because when you said chains that looked like they should be holding, my immediate thought was bodies, hooks with bodies on. It was like
Hooks with
wait,
dwarves
no.
on them?
Yeah, we did hang a guy just the other day from an engine hoist, so
Yeah.
I want to make sure this entire time I'm recording on my glasses as well.
Yep.
While I'm in there, just to make sure. Okay, so now that I've taken a look, I want to take a very careful look. I'm gonna make a perception check on the training equipment, just to kind of give the impression that I'm looking through things, and I'll probably just maybe not. Maybe not.
What are you looking for?
Specifically, just the types of equipment. I mean, that's pretty much.
I mean, they've got a
mostly
few
just-
benches with racks of different weights and so on. They've got even like a squat rack. They've got a few pads here and there lying around. But the equipment itself is a little bit more lacking. After you go past the bags and so on, it does tend to get a little bit less and really just starts to focus on a number of dumbbell racks and bench presses. As you're doing that, however, you notice a huge troll is standing by your side. You would recognize it from the pictures that Suda sent you as Tiny. You look up and he is probably a good... He's almost pushing 3 meters tall. Broad...
For comparison mostly for the viewers, how tall is Pug again? Just so they get this idea.
Pug's about 2'2", aren't you?
I don't know in meters. It's 8 foot.
Yeah, so probably about 2.5 meters. So yeah, he's another, 1.5 2 foot over you. And he's broader than Pug by a reasonable margin as well. This guy doesn't have the look of someone who's had cyberized implants bulking their muscles in certain places, which you get, and you look a little bit disproportionate when you get that because you notice that, stuff like biceps, triceps are suddenly much larger than even the stabilization muscles around them. This guy looks like a guy who was just really well honed. Every single muscle, even the small stabilization muscles in, your forearms and your arms and your shoulders, sticks out to an extent. And this guy is currently there in a kind of thin tank top, mainly it's thin because it's stretched over his torso, and shorts that show off his knees, which are themselves covered in muscle. You didn't think it's possible for knees to be covered in muscle, but his are somehow. And he looks down at you. Disproportionately small head. Yeah, pretty much. Disproportionately small head, you feel. And goes, "Hi, can I help you?"
I'm gonna go, Christ, you scared me, man, when I turned around.
"That's okay. I get that a lot.
Yeah, I bet you do.
I'm
Man,
tiny."
yeah.
And he reaches down with his hand.
I go ahead and I shake his hand as best as I can. I assume his hand is like the size of my body, but yeah, let's
Yeah,
go
you can
for
like
that.
shake 2 fingers of his hand.
Good to meet you, Tiny.
It's a very delicate grip. Careful.
He's probably
not to-
used to not using his strength.
Yeah.
Like the whole world is like made of cardboard to him, by the seams of it. Oh man.
So, are you the Tiny and large and tiny? I'm spitballing here.
Yeah, that would be right. I'm tiny. And you're broadcasting Vladimir at the moment, aren't you? Valentine, sorry.
I'm going sinless at the moment.
Oh, you're sinless. That's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, and who are you? You're not broadcasting.
Yeah, my name is Carmine, man. Good to meet you. I just wanted to take a look at the gym. I heard good things.
Oh, who recommended us?
I heard about you through some of your videos that you got up online. I saw you throwing that lightning haymaker, and I thought I'd swing by. With training like that, it might help me
He
out a
gets a
little bit.
message just like filling his arrow, just telling him to correct himself. It's a thundering haymaker.
Sorry, the
before he
thundering
offends
haymaker. Lightning thundering haymaker? You're the one that throws the punch, man. What do you call it? Because that thing is crazy.
He shrugs. You get a feeling he's maybe kind of embarrassed and maybe slightly, you're buttering up the right way. I don't really call it anything, but people do. And he starts to just sort of talk about the gym and point out certain things.
Well, that's good, man. I swung by because I was thinking about coming down and training for a little bit. I don't know. I've been on hard times lately and just kind of looking for something positive in my life right now.
Yeah, I get that. We get a lot of people here through like that. I mean, you look over there. There's Bob. He's an orc from down Lambeth way. He used to actually be quite a drugged out junkie until recently. But he came into some money and he's turning his life around.
Good for him, man. Good for him. I'm glad to hear it because it's tough nowadays. It's tough to turn around.
Oh, God.
It is. I mean, the way lives are these days, the mega corporations, it can be quite hard for you to get out from, under the heel of poverty.
He's got a message on his arrow just saying, Bob, 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 Bob,
Get out of there.
Bob, 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 Bob.
Well,
Get out of there now.
So what are your hours? And I'm gonna try and start walking back towards the front and the door. And I'm assuming he'll just follow because he's a salesman.
Bob
he
is
runs
actually
this place.
towards the door. He's actually like
Oh,
near the
shit
entrance.
balls.
He came
Okay,
in
so we're
after
gonna-
you, which is why
We're
you didn't
gonna
see him
walk
initially.
away from wherever he's at. Then I'm gonna lead him
Hit the
away from
bathroom.
wherever he's at.
Okay, you head towards one of the rings, actually, the full-size ring in the back that no one's currently using. Oh, well, if you fancy a quick training session, I'll be happy to do one for you for free.
Yeah, I'm actually a little strapped for time right now, man.
I mean,
Unfortunately,
are
I
you
just
sure?
had time to come.
I'll be happy to train you myself.
He gets a
It seems
message
like a
saying,
golden
you're,
opportunity."
You're in a bad position here because if you turn this down, that's going to be offensive. Accept it and just hope to
Yeah.
God that whatever Bob was hopped up on, it fried his memory.
You know, how can I say no to a sales pitch like that? You're the champion, man. Everybody wants to train with the champ. Let's do it.
Just make an etiquette roll, but at like +5, because you did a really good speech there, and he also doesn't really care. One success. Okay.
Edge.
Okay.
There we go. I like that better.
3 successes
Perfect.
versus my 2. Oh, well, if you want to... And are you wearing armor right now? Your trench
No,
coat?
I just went down there in like normal street clothing.
Okay, cool. If you want to just jump in.
Yeah, let's do this thing. You got dwarf-sized gloves around here somewhere?
Yep, and he hands you a pair of dwarf-sized gloves.
All right, he's about to whoop my ass. This is about to be ugly.
And he
All right,
grabs
so I
off the
put on the
wall, he
gloves.
grabs some pads for his hands.
Oh, thank Christ. Okay, we're doing agility training. I'm okay now.
Well, if you want to have a quick swing.
All right, let's do
Make
this
me
thing. It's
an
been a
attack
while.
roll. Yeah.
It's been a while since I warmed this thing up, Tiny. You better watch out. It's been a while. I don't know what's going to happen here. It might be crazy. And so it's going to be a strength roll with my
It's
unarmed?
agility plus unarmed.
Agility and unarmed. Okay. Oh, I'm not in too bad a shape. All right.
Ah! 4.
Oh, 4 successes.
nice.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, what
Well
is
above
your...
average.
I think you just do strength stun damage because I don't believe you've got any augmentations that change the damage
Yeah,
you
it's
do.
just stun.
So yeah, so what's his strength?
Strength is 3.
So you do 7 points of stun damage into his pad. Oh, not bad. He hasn't moved. Utterly, like... If you weren't hitting a pad, you get the feeling that would be like hitting a granite pillar. Luckily, there's a pad involved. Even then, you can feel the knuckles are maybe slightly bruised. Even through...
Through gloves.
Through the gloves and through the pad.
Through gloves, through tape. Like, ow!
Like Blowback seriously put his all into that. I was like, I'm gonna impress him. I'm gonna whah! And he's like, yeah, that's good. I actually felt some pressure there.
Are you paying attention, Pug? That was a good roll.
Oh, maybe you've got potential.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't really know where to go from here, man. I've never done this before. Like, this is me outside my element. So,
I mean,
like, what do you think I should do?
honestly, possibly not a boxer. Maybe you could get into Aikido or one of those martial arts. A large specializes in those.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. I just want to I want something consistent in my life right now that is not out there on the street, you know?
Well, if you want to get membership here, membership is only about 39 a month.
Yeah, let's do this thing. I'll go 30 new yen on it. That sounds great.
And if you
Blowback
want to
has
be
a
able to have
message asking,
lessons
what are the
with...
opening times?
Do you have your hours listed? So is that on your brochure AR thing?
Yes, opening times are 10 a.m. until 8 p.m.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. I got to train late because I got stuff going on during the day, but I just wanted to make sure before I ponied up. But yeah, it sounds good, man. Let's do this, Tiny.
Yeah, awesome. Well, and he sends you a token over, which is effectively you just pay 39 and it'll subscribe you to it, and you just pay it every month, and
Okay.
you get a mark on the host.
Is there any way I can hook up with Large? Can you introduce me, or is he not here right now? Or if I
Large
want to
isn't
train
here
with
right
him?
now. I think he's overseas. But if you want to train with him, just send me a message, and I will work it out for you. Just let me know, and I believe there's a small remuneration for getting trained. But you should have access to a number of different martial arts if you want to train.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic, man. I'm really looking forward to it, sincerely. Thanks for taking the time with me. I think I gotta take off right now. Do you know where the water's at? You guys have water here? I'm a little worked up right now.
And he goes over to the side of the sort of platform and picks you up a bottle of water and hands it to you.
Cool, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm gonna get out of your hair for right now, but thanks for hooking me up, man. I appreciate you taking the time. It's cool.
No problem. Always wishing to help those less, fortunate than me.
Yeah, I got a good feeling about this, Tiny. I got a good feeling about this.
Blowback gets another message saying, we will be going to the second stage facility to clear his name.
All right, so I need to look for Bob. Where is Bob as I'm trying to exit this situation?
You notice that Bob is over talking to some people near the entrance, about 8 meters away from the entrance.
Run!
Okay, so I'm gonna try and get out the door without Bob seeing me.
Okay.
I've got sneaking, so I assume that's what I'll be doing.
But the thing is, sneaking is more like...
Thinking is
This is trying
what
to
you do
blend
when,
in and
yeah.
look non-conspicuous. So you can choose whether you want to do it through etiquette or whether you want to do it through sneaking, although sneaking might look a bit iffy. Basically,
I like
if
to
you
believe
glitch.
that whenever someone sneaks, the Pink Panther theme tune starts playing.
Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum,
I
ba-bum.
got no etiquette, so I think I'm gonna have to go for sneaking. But I'm
That's
gonna
fine,
keep it
go
like
for
like when you see your ex like across the bar and you're just like, "Nyeh," and you're like trying to get out of there before eye contact happens.
So would that be like sneaking then composure?
Something.
Okay,
Oh,
go for it.
no.
Roll the sneak.
All right. Oh, I ain't got no edge or nothing neither. This could go so wrong. Everybody looks at the same time.
Who else?
Nice.
Bob gets there. Bob is engrossed in his conversation, and you notice something going back and forth between Bob and the guy he's talking to.
Okay.
Well,
Wait, what was that? I'm sorry. Can you repeat that for me?
Bob gives something to the person he's talking to.
Can I do a
Pseudo is
perception
not
check to
having
see what
to-
it was, or would that jeopardize my sneak?
You can see that it's some sort of small item package, something small. You're not exactly sure what it was from your angle.
Oh, he's dealing in the gym. Oh man.
Leave him alone. He's got.
Yeah,
Go.
it's not my business. I'm gonna leave.
Since Pseudo has actually got the video of everything that was going on there, I'm assuming that I don't need to roll a perception check for this because he's just got all the time in the world to pull.
Yeah, you're good.
details.
You can see what he saw, but unfortunately, because the angle isn't very good.
Yeah.
Or you can tell
No,
it's
he can't
something
see what
small.
it is, but he sees
Yeah.
enough that he comes to the conclusion. Yeah, he's dealing something. Okay. Once Bob, always Bob.
Okay, and so from there, I'm gonna get back on the tube and head back to where we were from. And while
Okay.
on the way, I'm gonna message Pseudo and be like, "Was that good enough? Are we solid there?"
Yeah, I got some good intel on the place. I'll have to look over it properly for all the details and devices and things like that. But you did a good job of looking the right way.
Okay.
And seriously, and at this point, like, Siri's going to excuse himself from whatever he's working on in the bar. Just stand up, walk away a little bit, and actually go full voice and say, "I really don't want to mess this guy. I didn't want to do it before, but now I really don't want to do it."
Yeah, it's understandable. I'm kind of in this. I kind of like the guy. I kind of feel like a dick for what we're about to do, but unfortunately, we
Whatever
already
we
took
do,
the job.
we have
so.
to have a plan to undo. So when Cable comes around tomorrow, I'm going to look up some details. I'll probably need you to do a lot of the legwork on this because I don't know shit about medical stuff. But if we can get some details on the facility that this stuff is going to for the secondary test, then I'm going to want to scout that out. Ideally, if it's just a big lab, there's going to be wireless stuff in there. I can maybe do some magic, but we'll have to see. Whatever we do, we need to clear his name after this.
Yeah, I think it's the best
understand that.
option.
I mean, he's a Shadowrunner, so he's one of us. So I was on board with it, even though my guy's a heartless killer. This is out of character, but I was still okay with that just because I didn't want to fuck up our Shadowrunner relations.
Yeah. Okay.
So I guess I'm on my way back, and I guess that's time for somebody else to take their cue.
Well, you've had a
Right,
pretty
well,
full day, so you're probably over.
At this point,
about 5 p.m.,
'cause it
6
was
p.m.
Like, yeah, 5 p.m., 6 p.m. I'm gonna have Dudo. He's going to leave the barge for now. He's gonna
Okay.
go out somewhere, and he's gonna drop by a couple of the markets around the place if he can. He's gonna get some flowers, and he's gonna come back. I don't know. I'll throw like 15 yen at it. It'll be a proper like thank
sure.
you very much for helping me out kind of bouquet. And then he's going to invite Lowry out to just go to cinema or something, and he's going to send a message to the guys saying, "Look, I'm off the grid for tonight."
Oh, thank you very much, Pseudo. Sure. I'm happy to come out with you. You go out, have a nice night, spend some Noyen.
How much
50
do I
Noyen?
spend? No, I'll throw like 100 at it.
100
Go
Noyen?
for
Y'all
a
went to the
meal
steakhouse,
afterwards.
getting them soy
Yeah.
steaks.
200 quid's worth of a night out.
Yeah.
Okay. Meanwhile, does anyone want to do anything before the end of the day?
I
Is
need
it
to
time
ask
for the story
Pseudo.
of Kaba?
Yeah,
Kayla,
I'm
what are you
assuming
doing?
it's.
Well, after getting my suit laundered, I went to meet up with Jake.
Ah, your fixer.
Yeah, because I said to him that I was going to take him out for a night out, and I've had time, so I thought I'd take him out for a night out. But while there, I was asking him if he had any access to a talismonger, because there's a couple of things that I need to pick up.
Oh, Kaba. I can get you that for you, but I mean, I'll have an ask around. I'm pretty sure I've got a few mates who can deal with that. He's Scottish. What? He's not meant to be Scottish.
It's okay. It's all right.
He's been
You've got a
Scottish
lot to
every
keep track of,
session,
man.
so he can stay
He's
Scottish.
been
it's
Scottish
fine.
at least once every session, yeah, and then he
Yeah,
switches back.
Yeah, he's fully Scottish now.
Yeah. He spent too long.
I
He's
know.
become a native. He's even gone ginger.
Damn
Whoa, that's too far.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's true. True facts.
I mean, Kaba, I can have a look at it for you, but I mean, it's gonna look into this magic shit. I mean, it's not my speciality, you see.
That's alright, man. I just need someone to pick some stuff up from. I mean, unless you can get me what I need, but I doubt it.
I think I know a few people I can hit up though. If you want me to look into it, I can get back to you in a few days.
Yeah, no worries, man. It's no rush. So, what about going out for that night out that I promised you?
Aye, that sounds absolutely legendary.
No worries, mate.
Legendary.
Legend-
murder.
Legendary. So, yeah, man, the usual haunt. We'll hit up cargo and we'll see what we run on. We'll see what we run into.
Okay. You have a good night out. How much you spend?
Like 200 yen.
209.
Yeah, VIP.
Oh yeah, it's a good night out. Kevin even
Hellraising.
comes down and joins you for a few drinks.
Good
On
man.
you.
Yep. Totally.
I want to out of character for a second. I'm
Sure.
okay with. I mean, I don't know if everybody else is okay. So, if we need to do Caber stuff, I can stay a little late. It just kind of feels unfair that like we've been dealing with all of our shit and then he gets cut off right at the end. So I just wanted to run that past people.
Depends what he wants to do. Yeah.
It's totally fine. Like, this is the end of the night anyway. Like, just chilling out, getting drunk, meet a lady, go back to hers. That sort of thing.
Yeah, there you go.
Roll a negotiation check.
Yeah,
With
really
minus,
should face-
Negotiating.
Take a troll home.
with
on.
-2, because you have,
Right.
like... You look like you've been beaten the hell up.
Some ladies like that shit though. They like a tough man. They want you to look rough and tumble.
Do I get
Yeah.
+2 for first impressions?
You do.
Cauliflower ear.
Definitely going for
yeah.
troll. Come on, it'll be like Klingon. You'll just show up at the doctor tomorrow, getting your ribs put back together.
You find a lady.
Yeah, he does.
You also find one for Kevin.
Ooh.
Roll
That's-
for booty.
Actually, no, sorry. You
Good
find a man for
romantic.
Kevin. Kevin's gay.
Okay. Well done.
Okay.
Good
Day
wingman.
ends.
Everybody happy tonight. Wingman.
You don't.
Oh,
You haven't spent edge. You haven't done health damage, so you're fine. Doesn't matter if you don't sleep. Everyone else. Does anyone wanna? You all get your edge back because you sleep. No one's taking damage. You're cool. Okay, I think this is probably a good place to end it, unless someone's got anything that can be done in the space of like 10 minutes worth of roleplay.
No, I'm good to end it there. That's why. That's where I did the last little bit of social, because I wouldn't normally do that in a Shadowrun run, but it was like, yeah, the night's practically over. We got 10 minutes left though, so yeah, we'll throw that out there because it would have just been off camera stuff otherwise.
As a message, I need to get Pseudo to see if maybe he can dig up a rank 3 fake sin for me from his contact. If I'm going to be going around this rank 1 sin shit, it seems like it's a liability. I need something that's at least passably going to get me around if we're going to be dealing with high life type stuff, especially if I'm going to a job interview.
Rather, I'll reply just with a quick message, because I'm probably still, hanging out with Lowry, but saying that I've already lined up a couple of rank 2s. They'll be ready when we've been paid, but if you want to rush something, especially if you want something better, let me know, and I'll see what I can do for you.
Yeah, let her know I can throw like 8K at it. Like I can pay pretty well. I just want to make sure before I go to this interview to try and get on the maintenance staff that I've got something. And also for Tiny, I mean, when I'm going inside that building, I need a fake sin that has Carmine Jacobs or something on it that can then be checked out a little bit later.
Okay, well, I'll reply saying that's cool for the Tiny thing, especially if you want to just hang out there, because I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe you could make contact with the guy. We would never be able to confess what we've done, but maybe somewhere down the road he looks like a cool dude. But don't use this for a rank 3 sin for messing with the janitorial stuff, because that is an expensive thing to burn.
Yeah, I figure we got a big payday coming, but either way, I'd like to have a better fake sin because
No
I'm
worries.
terrified of this rank 1 sin. Like every time I use it, it's like having a fireball in my hand.
Okay. Well, towards the end of the night, we were just going out, just kind of reminiscing old times sort of thing. Just, we haven't, like, that is Lowry and Pseudo, haven't had chance to just hang out without work in the way for a long time. So just enjoy the evening, come back. He waits until, probably tomorrow to bring this up. But just says, oh, by the way, in addition to those sins, one of my friends is looking for a sin. Gonna need to be a little bit more of a bespoke job, but he's willing to pay.
Is this one of your interesting friends then, Pseudo?
One of the interesting ones that I think would actually have my back if I needed him to.
Very well, if he has your back.
Okay, he's looking for a rank 3. Specifically, he's going to need a name on it. I know that's not usually the deal, so I understand if it's going to cost a lot more, but he needs it to be, what was the name?
Let's go with
Hakeem has a
Carmine
message.
Jacobs. I'm just going to
Carmine
change my last
Jacobs.
name around. because I already told Tiny it was Carmine on the front. So
Carmine Jacobs, and then you know, I detail him. He's a dwarf. He looks like this. Blah 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 blah.
I can make that work if you can give me a picture of him.
Yeah, sure. I find one out of the many times that my camera RFIDs have just been watching him. That
it's me in my underwear, isn't it? Damn it.
it doesn't look like any of the recent mugshots that have been floating around. Actually, a respectable picture of him. He looks like he's actually just come back from a shower.
Yay.
In his underwear. Sure, yeah.
Yeah, sure. In his underwear.
Also, Pseudo, I believe your ID is ready that you wanted.
Oh, fantastic.
Your sin. And she sends you over rating 2
Check out the name on it. What is
the name is James Taylor.
James Taylor, very well. Let me add this on here. Any other details? Because usually I record who they are. So if he's looking through it,
human 32.
Does he have any name, any information letters after his name? Has he got any education, that kind of stuff?
I'm trying to wonder if that would be saved as a license or whether it be it wouldn't be saved on the sin itself, I believe. It would be saved in an external database, or it would be saved as a license, I think. I don't think it would be saved attached to the sin itself. Sin itself only has very basic information.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Right, so what was it, James? What was the second name again?
Taylor.
Taylor. Okay. I don't. Add that in there.
The picture
Thank you
looks
very much.
vaguely like you.
No picture looks like Pseudo. No picture looks like Pseudo.
No, not really. Okay.
Good enough, though. Right, so, yeah, if anyone else has anything to wrap up with here?
I think we're good.
Awesome.
Sweet. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching tonight. We now have our group poised to start doping apparently the entire London water supply at this stage.
Well, go big or go home.
Might as well.
I've never
Cast
seen
a big enough net and you'll always catch a fish.
I've never seen a game where the note about where water was available has become so important. Bottled water like barrels, coolers, taps, faucets, shower heads, spa, yeah, everything. It's been interesting. So yeah, next week looks like we'll be going towards the fight itself, seeing what you're going to do doping, seeing whether you can come up with your moral dilemma, whether you want to inflict irreparable harm on Tiny's career or not.
Pseudo already has the answer to that. Pseudo had the answer to that when he realized the guy was a Shadowrunner. The rest of it just cemented this decision.
Yeah.
You're a Shadowrunner and you're one of the good ones? Okay. Fair enough.
And it puts Pseudo in a good position because, he's got so much more power than most. Our characters in the meat space are cool, but Pseudo can basically, fuck our shit up if he really, really wants to. And so it's kind of just go with what he wants. It'll be fine.
Thankfully, he also has a conscience, so he's the least likely to just mess with your stuff. But...
yeah.
That's true. And also, Pug has been outed as a corporate sinner to the rest of the group. With his
Pseudo
parents
has
in the
quite a
Empire
lot of
Ares.
information about him.
Yep.
You can bet that off camera, he's definitely going to be digging around a little bit more for Erwin Davenport. When a trail goes cold on the Matrix, that just means Grok has more work to do.
Yeah, go harder.
You only spent 2 hours searching and you didn't even use Grok, so yeah, you could dig up a lot more info. But that is it for tonight. We'll be back, of course, next week when we will have a sub button. Maybe character art. We're working on the character art at the moment. When we get that, we'll be able to make some emotes off of it, so you can blame Kaba with an emote, which would be amazing. But yeah, so that'll be next week. Hopefully you're looking forward to that. We'll also see what happens regarding this run. So thank you very much, of course, to Sheila for doing the voiceovers on our little video that we had during the break in the introduction. The rest of the attribution can be called with a command in chat, so I'm sure that will go up in a second, thanks to Mace. Thank you all of them for providing all the music and all the assets for the video, such as the videos that we put in the little videos for like the little box for either royalty free or Creative Commons or licensable. Great job. But yeah, next week we'll be back same time, which is 9 p.m. BST, 1 p.m. PDT, or whatever your regional equivalent is. But until then, where can people catch you, Pseudo Avac?
They can catch me on YouTube / Avac. Pretty much Avac on YouTube and on Twitch, but Avac _ on Twitter, because there is a fake Avac out there. Absolutely not the genuine Avac, whose name is genuinely Avac. Totally not. It's a troll. Stole my name. Scallywag.
That scoundrel.
Messages. He actually gets really upset.
A brigand.
So many people have sent Avac messages on Twitter, and he's like, "Who the hell is this guy?" It's like, "I'm sorry, dude. I didn't know it was your real name. Calm down."
He shouldn't have stolen yours.
I know. Bloody thief. I should be the one who's offended, my lord.
Okay, blame Stejo.
You can you can catch me over at twitter.com/Stejo or youtube.com/Stejo, where I am currently playing an awful lot of Dark Souls 3, and I'm streaming it every night, so be sure to catch that.
He's streaming it really well as well. He started with Deprived, which is what I did with Dark Souls 1. I had a lot of fun with that.
Yep.
I went with the assassin for Dark Souls 3.
I started Deprived and went with no burial gift, so I'm kind of gimping myself, and I'm doing a shieldless run, so super gimping myself.
Super awesome.
It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Playing the game the real way.
Yeah.
Yep.
No bloxies.
Yeah.
Okay, because Shen, where can we catch you?
Yep, I'm at twitch.tv/Shenmer and youtube.com/Shenmer2. I'm still putting out a ton of Paradox content, including the new EU4 update, and just hopped into RimWorld this morning. I gotta get back into this game. Holy shit, there's an update there too.
Oh yeah,
It's an awesome update.
it's pretty good. People get into fights, complain about people being ugly and disfigured, and then start trying
Giant
to murder
insect
them.
hives popping up in the bed.
So far, I've got
Contests.
three ugly women in my colony. All good.
The one colony I had, everyone was related. It was a father and his son and his daughter.
Oh.
It was awesome. And then a giant hive popped up in the father's bedroom and a bear-sized spider ate him. That was sad.
These things happen.
They do.
The joys of the Rim world.
Yeah. So, Splatter, where can people find you when you're not in your
You can
van?
find me. Yeah, when I'm pink vanning it up my underwear. You can find me on youtube.com/SplatterCatGaming, all one word. Same thing on Twitch TV/SplatterCatGaming, and I'm just doing indie games right now. I've got Man of War Corsair going on, which is a new entry to the Warhammer Fantasy Battle universe, another one of those Games Workshop conversions. And then I'm also playing Stories, The Path of Destiny, which is an interesting little game. And so, if you wanted to check out some indie games, that's what I'm always doing over
You're
there.
not playing any more Hyperlight Drifter?
It's done. Tomorrow is the ending.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're done. Finished it.
Oh, I'm glad, because I'm only partway through the series, and I was like, oh, you're not listening to Hyperlight Drifter? No! Don't take it away. Thank goodness.
But yeah, as for me, I will be available at youtube.com/Unrealistic. We'll be playing Planet Coaster, End of the Gungeon, From the Depths, RimWorld, Democracy 3 Africa, which I'm getting assassinated by the feminists all the time. What is it about feminist conspiracies? Apparently they're a thing. I get murdered all
They're
the time.
trying for equal rights, man. They don't want that.
Yeah,
try and
feminists
strangle you with purple hair.
obviously don't want that. Yeah. And at some point I've got to play more Battlefleet Gothic because they just introduced the Elder. So many things, so many things.
It's busy right now. It is a busy, busy season.
Yeah.
And then
Right now, I'm
Stellaris is
down
dropping
to-
in 2 weeks.
Oh, I know.
God.
I can't wait.
I'm going to lose my life to that a little bit.
I believe
right now,
that
I'm just
the
playing
exact term
3
is,
games
oh my
ish,
god.
Urban Gurge.
It paradox space. Like, could you think of something just?
Well,
They do have a CK2 mod out right now, which already takes place in space. It's awful, but it's hilarious.
That is terrible. So bad.
I don't think I can bring myself to try that. But anyway, we'll be back next week. Hopefully you'll join us then. The VODs, of course, are available on the Twitch archive right now. And you'll see chat there. Or you can go and watch them on the YouTube channels, which they'll be up on Friday and Saturday. I imagine this one's probably just be 2 parts, but they'll have to be seen and confirmed. But I don't think this will be a 3-parter unless someone wants to specifically cut out Kaber getting beat up. Just that 5 minutes.
Just that bit.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the only part that Kaber has had to play in this.
It's okay. Next week he's gonna shine because he's gonna be doing tons of legwork.
Yeah,
there is.
Yeah, now that he finally
just watching.
Now that he finally slept, he can actually do it properly too.
With a full dice pool for once.
If anyone was wondering why Pug just doesn't give a shit about Kaber, Pug is prejudiced. He took it as one of his negative debuffs, so he has a bunch of karma that he got because he really hates elves, and that's just comes with the territory.
Yeah, so don't read into it too much. It's a character thing.
The more you get more for that particular quirk, the larger the that kind of population that you're prejudiced against, and also the scale of your prejudice, the more karma you're getting. Pug got a lot of karma.
He went all in. He pushed the chips.
He went for common prejudice, so like minimum amount, but against a common group, which is elves. So he doesn't have to be too racist, but he's certainly prejudiced. He's playing it up, which is excellent, because as a GM, there are some things you can take which you don't necessarily need to appear very often, or you can play differently. But it's very nice when player goes, yeah, I'm just going to portray my prejudice fully outright all the time. It's like, excellent.
No, he's role-playing it. That's the good part, is that a lot of people take those perks and then they try to ignore them and just hope the GM doesn't call them on it.
One other thing, because some people have asked it in the past, is like, oh, the GM's asking you to roll perception. Why isn't everyone now rolling perception? Because he's basically letting you know that something's going down. The thing is we're all playing our characters. Our characters don't know something's going down. Of course, we know. It's like, yeah, he's asked 3 of us to roll perception checks. None of us have succeeded, but there's clearly something to be noticed. Otherwise, he wouldn't be asking us to do it.
Like your character doesn't know what a roll is.
No, exactly. So if our characters are like, oh, yeah, well, I passively don't notice that something's happening. It's not going to be a clue to our character to start really paying attention. So, that would be out of character if we then started to specifically drive all of us getting perception rolls. So that's why it doesn't happen. I know it's like, well, bad things are going down. It's like, well, yeah, but our characters don't know, so they don't know to react. Just for those who are getting frustrated with the fact we weren't doing it.
Yep. Also, occasionally I do ask you to roll perception when it doesn't really matter at all, just to make sure you're paranoid. Because if you're not paranoid, you're not playing Shadowrun right.
I'm still worried about that.
That's when he's like, you don't notice anything. That's like every time. That's how you know he's doing it to us. You don't notice
anything. What the hell was the glitch that Kaber had from the dry cleaners?
You don't know. That's the thing.
Oh,
you may never know.
He's gonna like
Kaber may wake up dead. You never know.
The dry cleaner's gonna like have planted a tag on him, so he's gonna be following Kaber around now. Everyone's gonna know where he is. It's gonna be awful.
Yep.
All right.
Anyway, until next week.
Yep.
Please do go check out our Twitter, because the Twitter will tell when you want to go live and all that stuff. And also, we're thinking about doing a couple of the things, like people have asked if they can tip the streamers. We might do a tip thing where we'll try and involve people able to influence the game slightly by tipping people to refresh edge, because I know certain elves would like that when they don't have any edge because they haven't slept in a week. And also, people were suggesting a Patreon thing, and if people want that, we can set up a Patreon and try and get some sort of meta game going whereby you can support different factions in London. If, for instance, you like the Russians, you can support them and they may do better, or you can support the Irish and see Kaber get hit with a baseball bat. So yeah, definitely give us feedback about that. Give us feedback about that, see what you want, chuck it at the Twitter, chuck it up in the chat at the moment. But yeah, so that'll be getting fun. Thank you very much to the mods for modding, and by the mods I just mean Mace at the moment, because we've just got Mace. Mace's been doing a fantastic job in chat, so thank you so much to him. But yeah, till next week. Stay shiny.
Yep. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Have a good week.